I'll tell you about the time I performed at Lollapalooza. This was 25 years ago. I competed in a few poetry slams in Seattle, and the producer of the slam was asked to send a few Seattle poets up to Lollapalooza when it was happening in British Columbia. So there I was at this rock festival. They had a special stage set up for the spoken word acts. It sat about 200 people, but the main stage was for the big name acts. And there was a group of Tibetan Buddhist monks who opened the show on the main stage. I thought that was pretty cool. Tibetan Buddhist monks. I wanted to meet those guys, but one of the spoken word acts said to me, "The monks don't hang out with us poets. We're too angry and stuff. They don't want to mix their sense of peace up with our karma, you know, as if poet karma sucks." And this really surprised me because I grew up with this Christian idea of having the peace that passes understanding. That's supposed to mean even when we're in a really messed up situation, we can still exude a sense of peace. It's easy to have peace when you avoid conflict altogether, but if you can have peace even when there's conflict all around, man, that peace passes understanding. I'm like that. See, I can be like that. I have good poet karma. But I understand if a Buddhist monk would rather hang out with the big names on the main stage. That's what I'd do. If I was in the main stage act, if I was a main stage act, screw the poets. The main stage has a food table with gluten-free snacks and craft beers. I'm not saying there wasn't any sense of peace at the spoken word stage, but the whole purpose of being a performance poet is to confront things where there isn't any peace. There's always conflict flying around with poets. They aren't doing their job if they don't dig into what they're wrestling with inside and spill their guts and barf it out onto the stage, vomiting your conflict. You don't do that to a Buddhist monk. Anyway, I was pacing around waiting for my turn on stage, and there was about 200 young folk in the audience, 200 Lollapaloozites, and finally the MC introduced me. He said, "Please welcome John Kulm." And right after he said those words, as I walked onto the stage, someone shouted, "Look at the main stage. Green Day is about to start." Green Day. And I watched 200 music fans running away from me to listen to Green Day. I mean, I'm walking to the microphone, smiling, eager to share my little poems, and the whole audience was running away like it's the Chicago Fire. They're running away as if the MC shouted, "He's got a gun." So I did my show for 200 empty chairs at Lollapalooza on the spoken word stage. I still have that credit in my resume. I don't mention the empty chairs. At the end of the night, each of the poets was supposed to get $5 as payment, and it isn't much, but it meant we were paid performers at Lollapalooza. So for some reason, the stage manager was having a hard time getting the cash to pay us. We stood around waiting. I liked hanging in with these poets, so I didn't mind, but we were there for a long time, and everyone was anxious to leave. And after over an hour, I finally gave up and I said, "I'm standing here waiting for $5. $5. And I laughed at myself and I went home. And that's why Lollapalooza owes me $5. It's not really enough money to go to small claims court over. I should probably let it go and have a sense of peace inside.